all of us have all seen the issue and the point Henry has made concerning Arsenal and Arteta. And the reaction towards Henry and the comments have really taken me aback because I don't understand where the commotion and the issue is. And people are majoring in the minor, talking about the fact that he said Arteta bought Sterling. I don't think that's dishonesty, because that is not the major point Henry was making. The point he was making is the fact that we have, as a club, underachieved. We have not won what we should have won. We have not achieved what we should have achieved. And that was the major point. And people are majoring in the minor, focusing on the fact that he said something about Sterling and whatnot. Come on. I saw the entire interview, and I think he was very complimentary about Arsenal, talking about the progress. But we have to be honest as a fan base. This infatuation some of us have with Arteta and his principles, idea, Arteta, it takes away the practicality of football, which is to win trophies, to win titles, to win things. How can you begrudge a man, a fan, not just a man, not just an ex-player, a fan like you and me who wants your club to win? What is this? What is this issue? Why is this uproar? What's the uproar about? I don't think he said anything wrong. Even the issue of Sterling, come on. If Arteta was insistent that he didn't want Sterling, would Sterling have come? Well, I guess at the end of the day, that point is a bit nuanced, but I don't think that's the major point to be made there. Okay, let us assume that he was wrong on that point. Does that take away from the important details he was trying to convey? And even on the important details, people still agree. People still disagree, rather. Why are you disagreeing? We have not gotten to a final since 2020, August 2020, and you think it's normal for a club like of our size? That's a sackable offense. I understand the fact that Arteta has gotten us to where we are currently, and it is commendable. We are happy, we are grateful. But are you sure he's the one to lead us to the promised land? Think about it. Yeah? Let's look at Man City. Roberto Mancini won an FA Cup, won the Premier League for them, I think. He won the Premier League, I think he won an FA Cup. I'm not certain about the FA Cup. But he was still sacked for Pellegrini. Pellegrini won, I think 2 Premier Leagues. But he was still sacked. Let's be honest. We have to be a bit more practical about some of these things. And a lot of our fan base have this infatuation with Arteta, and it's troubling. A lot of our fan base cannot see anything wrong Arteta does, or cannot see anything wrong Arsenal does. Well, I have a few points I'm trying to make, so let me go over some of them. I wrote them down. Number 1, there is progress at Arsenal. We are progressing, but the defining factor about a football club is to win trophies. We must win something. And so I saw someone making a point that if Arsenal wins just the Carling Cup and the FA Cup, the fans will not be satisfied. I slightly disagree. If we are competing for the Premier League and taking it to the final day, getting to the semi-finals of the Champions League and whatnot, and we win an FA Cup, a Carabao Cup along the way, nobody will be overly upset. The annoyance will be tempered. But I cannot go through a full season. 38 games in the Premier League, we see everyone. I'm using myself as an example. I see everyone. All the FA Cup matches, Carabao Cup matches, Champions League matches. That is time and commitment. And I have nothing to be, and I have no reward at the end of the day. If I was supporting a championship team is a different thing. I'm supporting the Arsenal, the top biggest club in the land, and I cannot go home at the end of almost a full year of supporting my team with a title, with a trophy, and you expect me to be happy. It doesn't make any sense. We should demand a bit more. Come on. Yeah, I think I've already made the second point. Henry, a club of Arsenal stature cannot not win a trophy. We must win something every year. That should be the standard. That should be the barest minimum. We must win something every year. So there is no room to say, we'll go again next year. It's an annoying principle to say we'll go again next year. Why should we go again next year? Why can't we do it this year? Why can't we? We must win something. That is the bottom line. We must win something every year. That should be the barest minimum. And the failure to do that consistently should be a sackable offense. That is my opinion. Also, the issue of the striker situation is not entirely Arteta's fault, because if Arteta has come out to say, "Hey, look, I need a striker," and the board is unable to get him a striker, we can't blame him for that. And I think on that, Henry is wrong when he was basically when he was basically saying that the fact that Arsenal hasn't been, the fact that we bought Sterling instead of getting a striker, it was the point. I get the point he was trying to make, but he was like putting the blame, so to speak, on Arteta's feet. But I think in that he was wrong. He shouldn't have done that. The next point to be made here is we are beginning to. I'm beginning to get flashbacks of Arsene Wenger. You know, this next year, next year, next year, next year. Before we won the FA Cup in 2014-ish, dude, we remember the dark years we had. Dark years. It's beginning to feel similar, honestly. But there's a difference here. It's beginning to feel similar, but it is not similar. I'll tell you why. It is not similar because this team, in my opinion, feels like it has more grit, has more meat to it. It feels like it's just at the verge of it. It's just at the verge. But we're starting to become a nearly team. Nearly. So we feel like we're at the verge of it, but we are not yet there. So this team, this Arteta's team, feels more primed, more situated, more resilient, more tenacious than the Wenger teams. So I think that is the only thing that is keeping me from going full-blown, hey, this is Wenger era. Hey, this is Wenger era. 5 years without a trophy. Come on. It's unacceptable. We're too big for this. Look, I'm in the previous video I said, I do not care how we win. Grind out the result. Our FA Cup run in 2020 wasn't beautiful. We're grinding out the result. Against Chelsea, we were at the back foot for a large portion of that game. Against Man City, similar, but we found a way to win. You have to be practical. And I think Arteta tried to be practical, but he became overly practical. Because even the fluidity of the team, this year I didn't enjoy watching the team. It just became still, stagnant, didn't feel fresh. Like, I can't forget the team of that was, which year was that today? But 2023, 2024. No, 2022, 2023. That team was vibrant. It was just energetic. This feels like you have 6, basketball players all over the pitch who are just rigid. I didn't enjoy it, man. I did not. And I feel like, yes, you have to be practical to win a title, to win trophies, but well, look, this is the final point to make here. But if you've gotten this far, please give me a like and subscribe. More videos are coming up. The final point to be made on this is this. Arteta has to be backed. But this is, for me, the final bus stop. If he is backed this summer and is unable to deliver, then the conversation has to be more brutal. We have to have a very brutal conversation without remorse. But he has to be backed. And he has to be backed, especially in the forward attacking positions. Our defensive midfield, I think, is a bit sorted. I have issues there that I feel we can address in some places. And I think I'll do another video for that. But we have to back him for this summer. But if after this summer, next year, he begins to give us flimsy excuses, nah, we are done. We have to be honest. And we have to be ruthless. These boys cannot be together forever. If we don't win now, they will be gone. We have just one more season to have this team complete. One more season. If I'm an Arsenal player, that is my mindset. One more season. So we have just one more season before many of these boys will want to try their luck elsewhere. No footballer wants to play football, especially at a top club, without winning something. And if it's noticed, all of them are hungry. They are all hungry. If you see players who play for the funds, for the money, I don't think our boys are playing for the money. Yes, obviously they are earning a good wage, but they feel like they are hungry. They want to win something. No excuses again for Arteta. So ultimately, my opinion, Henry is right. We need to win. We couldn't. It is unacceptable that in 5 years we've only gotten to one final, which was in 2020. That is poor. Very, very poor. And you watching this as an Arsenal fan, you should demand better. You should demand more from your club. You should demand it. Cheers.